heart attack. Fast, fatal, heart impact. Past painful scars, in fact I blast tasteful bars and past. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked. Attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet out, get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Show here, and now, before I do begin, a lot of people do seem to be interested in the Akeem Gon kill Deku. And I know whenever I released that design for a thumbnail, I did also release this one alongside it. And I'm curious to see how you guys might react to this one. I know everybody wants me to do a Titan Shifter Deku, so this will be a very good preview to that idea. Now, with that being said, let's get right into it. We'll start with Izuku Midoriya. Now, he'd have probably an entirely different name since he's in Marley, or him and his family have grown up in this place. Now, I'm pretty sure anyone who's a fan of the series is aware Deku and his family, they aren't treated very well. Here in Marley, they're people, the devils. They're persecuted. They're looked down upon. They're taken away and put in places away from other people. And Deku's family has always been like that. They just did this. He didn't know why. And we do actually have today. Deku, his father comes to him, and he does explain one simple thing. Deku, he's special. And today, one of his superiors in the army, or the Marleyan military, they know about him, since he talked about him. This opportunity they've been given, it will allow them to somewhat be free. Hisashi just saying that they'll be free, and lying to Deku. Deku being told that if Deku uses the power he's been given, then he can do anything. He can set his mind to anything. He can allow them their freedom and be able to leave this place. And that did surprise Deku. Now, Deku was taken away, as he does remember his father. He doesn't remember exactly why he was chosen. However, he does start going through the, experience with everybody. There were many other children with him. Many children being trained. They go through runs. They carry large amounts of weight. They carry guns. And they're even put through tactical exercises. It all seems to be very crazy. And this, it all does seem strange to Deku. At first he didn't understand why, but as the days grew longer and he got older, he just started to get it. By all means, he's a very smart individual. And after that initial density he did have at first, he was able to get over it. After sharpening his mind just a little bit more, he figured it out. And we do actually have today. Right now, everyone is sitting down in class. And Deku, he's actually looking over towards somebody in the room. They're known as the strongest soldier. And they can carry the most amount of weight. And Deku, he's just staring at them. He hates them. Everybody looks up to him. And by all accounts, he seems like the perfect soldier. And Deku, he can get his hand around that. The man is physically superior to him. However, this being where everyone, they're looking at the teacher, and the man is going to say a question. Deku throwing up his hand immediately, as he does answer it within the span of a few seconds. As the man does tell him, correct, and then go back to everything. Deku just thinking, as he does look towards the person he was staring at, and they are actually staring back at him. Well, the person, they dominate the physical portion, the strength portion. Deku has the brains, and it's quite simple. Well, this man has the brawn, he has the brain, the intelligence, the things that many different people in their field they need to use to survive. The type of mission from what he's heard they're being trained for, the candidate soldiers. They're being trained to infiltrate the island full of devils. And Deku, he started to get into this ideology. What they're doing, they're going to get what was taken from them. They will kill the devils. They will make sure they stay on that island for the rest of eternity. And they get back the property that was stolen. Now, this was somewhat strange to Deku. While he didn't really understand it completely, he did devote himself to this idea. He put all of his focus and loyalty to these simple ideals, to the point where all he did was think and breathe of the Marley nation. And there actually was as they did get older. And eventually Deku, while he did start to catch up in some areas, he was still lacking. And we do actually cut to the candidates. The men, they're all actually picking off soldiers to step forwards. Deku stands in line. He hears the names. He's standing next to the guy. And this is actually where this commander, the man, he does step forwards. And he does at least hold down a scribbled note. As he does start to list people off. Berthold, Reiner, Annie. And then Deku, he does wait. The man actually going to turn his head to the right and look towards Deku's direction. The man telling him to come here, since he's involved here too. Now, it does somewhat take Deku by surprise, as he does think for a second. The guy to his left going to step forwards and towards the commander, as the commander does somewhat turn a bit more aggressively and shout, "Not him." He's talking to the other one. This being when the person, they do stop and freeze, confused, as Deku, he does look kinda surprised. Him stepping forwards. "Sir? Do you mean me?" "Yes, I do. Now hurry up. We have to get everything ready." "Yes, sir." Now, there is where everything does start to go back to normal, or a little bit smoothly. Their ceremonies are held, and Deku does meet the founding titan that came, not founding titan, my god, the Jaws titan, my bad, that came before him. And this is actually kind of surprising. Deku and the man, they do somewhat talk for a minute. However, they don't talk very long. As the ceremony is held, and Deku officially becomes one of the warriors. As that actually does happen, we do have later, where Deku and these four, they did go through more training extensively to use their titans. And while this did happen, Deku, he did somewhat still have this feeling in his gut. It wasn't right. What happened? Him and that guy. Him saying his name, just thinking. He should have been the one to take Deku's place. Deku, while he does have the brains, he doesn't really think about it too much. Well, it does go on his mind from time to time while he's running around in his Titan. Him swatting enemy combatants and helping to take out military outposts. It does somewhat get to him. Why was he picked? It doesn't make sense. This being what Deku does think. As the day before the mission actually does set sail and the warriors are standing in front of the docks, Deku, he does step forwards, ask this question to his commander. As Deku does step forwards, and the man does stare directly at him. I'm about to open his mouth as Deku does shout asking, "Sir, why he was picked, sir?" Now, the man does stare over at Deku, and he does get somewhat annoyed, as he does inform him walking forwards and bringing his hand up, that he was picked because of the way he reacts under stress. Sir? The man bringing his hand up to Deku's face, informing him that Deku, out of all the candidates, he does show the most level head. Along with that, he's smart and intelligent. And they've seen what he's tested for. Many of the other Jawless Titans in history, they have similar test answers, and they have the highest success rate. Along with that, Deku, well, he doesn't think he might be special because not only is he a devil, but he has the devil's blood running through him. This is confusing Deku, as the man does inform Deku of a royal bloodline, and that does catch him off guard. As everybody behind him, they do so and stare at Deku as if he might be special. Royal blood? That doesn't make sense. Now, the captain or commander, he doesn't bother trying to explain to Deku, informing him of the duty he's been sworn to do, reminding him that his parents are official, well, citizens now, and that because of that, Deku, he needs to do his mission, and that he is to return in some years' time. If he returns without what they are sending him to get, sending them to get, they will all be in massive trouble, and they will send new soldiers to Paradise, and their parents, they could all be executed. That being what does somewhat surprise Deku, as they do get onto the ship and arrive at Paradise Island. As that does happen, they do actually start the journey. Deku actually going to turn into his Titan, as people they do stare at him. Deku's Titan, it's one that does have prominent jaws, sharp teeth, claws, and a small build. You could make fun of it and laugh at it. Compared to Berthol's, the god of destruction, compared to this thing, it's laughable. But there is the fact that Deku, the way he works and the way he moves, they've even had battles against each other. Deku can take on Annie, and he can even contend with Berthold, or not Berthold, Reiner. The armored Titan, while its hardened skin does make it slow, that's the problem. Deku can easily bite through the skin. In fact, Reiner, he's actually had to strip away some of his armor just to fight Deku on almost even playing fields. But that's also kind of hard. Deku, whenever he does attack larger Titans, he does go straight for tendons and muscle points to weaken the structure, and he will then go in for the kill. He's like a very, well, predatory animal. If something that he doesn't want to be there is there, he will kill it. And people, they do actually somewhat respect Deku for that. Get the job done. That's it. There it is. No more problems. And they all actually do go ahead and leave. Them heading for the wall, as eventually they do have to stop and make camp. And after that is done, there is where there's no interaction with Ymir, so she will not be in the series. Anyways, they do eventually get to the walls. And after Deku does watch the God of Destruction break down the wall, there is whenever Reiner and him do transform. And Deku, he actually is very surprised. Whenever Reiner, he does go to charge in and go to actually walk around town, everyone, they do stare at this large Titan. As up on its back, they do see the Jaws Titan, and they're all just shocked. One giant Titan, then there's an armored Titan, and that thing, no way. Now, they do actually have where the armored Titan, he does get into a stance. Him leaping off to go and run, as whenever he did leap off, he did go to bring up his hands. Him going to grab Deku by the back, and going to bring him down into one of his hands. Everyone watching as the large Titan is going to fling this thing up through the air, as if he's lobbing a large ball. As the Titan does go to throw its hands down forwards and into a ball. Them confused. That Titan, he's using a tactic. These things are mindless. That's impossible. This being where Reiner, while he's running through the cannon fire, Deku, he does gonna bring out his claws, landing on the wall as he's gonna climb on top. As we do have Eren Yeager and his point of view, all of a sudden there was a loud thud, and the ground felt like it almost shook. And then they did look up towards the wall to see a large Titan just standing there. It going across the top and ripping away cannons, as it did actually then go to throw itself on the other side of the wall and start running down towards the military soldiers there. As then you did actually have where the large Titan smash itself through and through the wall. Eren Yeager watching as two Titans, they're there. One is small, and as cannons are trying to fire at it and the Survey Corps are trying to just do their job, it's crazy. They just can't. They're being overwhelmed. And it's, well, hard to believe. Now, we do actually have Deku, as he's running around the town and cutting his way through the devils. The thoughts that do go through his mind. Right now, Annie and Bertolt, they're moving. And they're making their way somewhere else. If they can get to the extraction point, then things will be easy. And they won't have to worry about the next part of their plan, integrating with the devils. They do carry the blood, so it won't be that hard. As you do actually have Reiner, who, while he is trying to escape from his Titan, he does somewhat find it a bit difficult. While he does usually have to wait for the armor to fall off after he does try to lighten it up, and wait for the skin to decay a bit to get out, he does actually have Deku. As Deku did see Reiner, after taking some damage, start to produce massive amounts of steam, Deku, he just climbed at the large Titan, him reaching his hand out and going to rip off the plate of armor. As Deku does just start to reach around the entire area where the top of the ribcage is and pull it off. Reiner actually going dark, as Deku, after pulling the massive part of the ribs out by the back of the spinal column, he does start running off. The large Titan doing so, as eventually he does find Bertolt inside, or Reiner, not Bertolt. Now, with that being said, eventually they do meet up, and they do integrate themselves into the devils, and they do go into the Survey Corps. If the supposed founding Titan is living in Paradis, then there's going to be a problem. They need to explore the area outside the walls. If they can find it, if they can do what they can, then maybe, just maybe, they can find the founding Titan and return home where they can be hailed as heroes and not seen as the devils.